Hi everyone! I feel like I've spent a lot of time lately excusing what I look like because England is so freaking humid and it's been raining today and it's also like super hot, so I'm just like, my body cannot handle this. I am probably like the most stereotypical Norwegian in the way that I love winter, I love the cold, I do not like when it gets too hot. For me, summer could be 20 degrees and that would be perfect. Sometimes I'm like, how did I live in Florida again? Also, excuse the mess behind me. Well, got my new passport that I never showed you. It looks very, very retro. It looks like it's from the freaking 70s. And at first I didn't like it at all, but now I'm kind of like, it's actually kind of cool. I just went thrift shopping and got my friend's kids some birthday presents. So, medium, if you're watching this, spoilers ahead if you wanted to be a surprise. I just freaking love this so much because she wanted like dresses with flowers or butterflies. I love that she actually was that specific because it made it really easy. So I got some dresses with butterflies on them, and then I got this really cute like play suit with flowers on it. It's really worth asking your friends if they're okay with getting, you know, thrifted presents because you can find so much nice stuff. The money goes to support other people, like this goes to support homeless children. What? What's wrong with me? And there's basically no carbon footprint to buying this stuff. It makes me really happy that my friends accept used gifts and all of that. And obviously with kids' clothes, even more so, they can be worn by more than one kid because they're not even, you know, if I buy clothes for myself, I'll have my clothes for a really long time, but kids literally wear the clothes for what, like maybe a year or maybe more, I don't really know, but you know, they only wear it for a pretty short time. I am so lucky to have very clear skin, and then now I don't, so I feel terrible. As everything is kind of around here, you can probably figure out how this all happened. My face is not happy about it. I think I said in my last video that like, oh, I'm so happy it's raining, it's so nice. But you know what also comes with the rain in England? Well, I mean, a lot of places. The humidity. It's so bad. I just wanted to show you real quick. In one of my Vlogmas videos, I super glued my sunglasses together. My like 8-9-year-old Hot Topic ugly ass sunglasses because I wanted to make them last as long as possible. And also I just had some super glue, so I wasn't really wasting anything by doing that, but someone stepped on them and I can't fix them now. And as I try to buy as much as possible used or secondhand or whatever, I do find it difficult sometimes finding specific things that I need. You know, if you go to a thrift store, you might not find any sunglasses and you're definitely not guaranteed to find something that you want. But the British Heart Foundation, they have some things that are obviously new that I feel better buying this because you're not really like creating a demand, but you're getting new stuff. I mean, I think they're quite cute, like they're floral and all of that. I do find that these kind of sunglasses kind of suit my face because I have a very big face, so this is just kind of my go-to. But yeah, enough about that. I'm gonna make food. I do sometimes when I have a lot of random ingredients, I like making platters to feel a little fancy, and also it's a good excuse to make garlic bread. Get this, okay? Asda's Finest, or whatever this is called, extra special, tender some broccoli, 19p. Reminder to always check the clearance section when you go shopping. I'm also gonna have some salmon. I don't eat meat very often, I'm a flexitarian, but I am trying to eat more fish just to be healthy. If you don't eat fish very often because you think it's expensive, go to Aldi, they have cheaper fish. Just make sure that all seafood you buy has some kind of certification that it's responsibly sourced, because seafood and stuff, it can be so bad. Garlic bread is one of those things that I used to just buy. Well, I didn't buy it very often because it's not the healthiest, but I would always just buy it. I wouldn't even consider like making it myself. But when you start making it yourself, then store-bought ones, like, they're just a disappointment, you know what I mean? If they don't have enough flavor, they're not even like covered well with like butter, so there's like dry pieces, and who wants that? I certainly do not. We had like a pub lunch on my friend Reese's birthday, and I ordered the garlic bread, and Amy ordered cheesy garlic bread, and I realized when we got our food that I had made a mistake, a big one. But Amy is just one of those friends that will share food with you. When people share their food with you, like, that's just a true sign of like they're good people. This week I met someone and they showed me like this new kind of like popcorn crisp thing. She had one of those like tiny like one-person bags, you know, and she let me help myself twice. Those are good people, you know? If you've been here for a while, you know that I'm not all about that aesthetic food. I just want something that tastes nice. So we got my very ratchet kind of garlic bread. Like, this is like, obviously this tastes really nice, but it doesn't look that nice because I wasn't about that. I wasn't trying. Some fried tender spam broccoli and some onions, and then we got my salmon, which it's less aesthetically pleasing to cook it up what the hell? Cut it up when you're cooking it. But I was just, this is lazy, okay? I'm gonna just be painting a little bit today. I'm gonna continue my painting that I started last time. That is actually my last video. I had to skip this week's video because I have been so busy this week. Let's have a little intervention. My name is Tone. I'm a workaholic. Boundaries? Don't have them. I have this tendency to kind of glamorize. I need a piece of paper, just a second. I don't tie my productivity to my worth. It's not that bad, but I am also a person who I kind of thrive when I have a lot to do. And if I just have like very little to do, then I'm less productive. I know other people who also get more productive if they have something they are procrastinating from doing. I talked about it in my last video, like this is just a thing for me to do to kind of learn something new, but also it is a gift for someone. That's why I can't show it to you, because the person it's for will immediately know what it, like that it's for them if they see this. So I have to keep it secret from now. My friend Reese commented on my last video and said that I should make this like a regular thing where I just continue the painting and I sit and talk about random things, which I loved, but that video, like I was really happy with it because I guess I just like to talk to myself, but I can't show the painting, but I'll still do this. I was just watching Coyote Ugly. Well, I just started watching, I was just watching while I was eating. I've just watched like 20 minutes or whatever. I haven't seen it in like at least 10 years, I think, but I've just been waiting for somewhere to make it available, and it's now on Disney Plus, so I was excited to see that. Oh, dark green. It's like my favorite color. I wish I could just make my whole wardrobe like this exact color. Oh, already got paint on my hand. Coyote Ugly is like very relatable when you're also someone who has moved to a big city. I actually have a really pretty color here. Like I low-key just want to use this. Oh, as I said, low-key. I've watched the first episode of Loki and I'm kind of unsure. Like it's very confusing. It's very weird. Like it's not what I expected at all, which is probably the case for a lot of people. But I'm sure like obviously it will get better and it will make sense and all that. Like it's literally just the first episode, so I'm not gonna judge it from that. Because Falcon and the Winter Soldier I did think was weird in the beginning, or like I was like, where's this going? Like, what is this? But I loved it. But yeah, back to Coyote Ugly. I'm so rambly today. Let me just say, Coyote Ugly is very realistic in the way, like, you move to a bigger city and you end up in, like, a trashed apartment. When I was in New York City, the people that I was with, like, met some friends that were studying there or something, and they said that, like, some of them, when they got there, they just ended up in these really, really bad flats and places. Like, it was terrible. I feel like I need to refilm the video where I told you about, like, all the places I've lived in London, because it's really, really bad quality. In that video, like I told you about, like one of the places that I moved into, I was like moving with my landlord. I was renting a room from like this family or whatever, and like they moved, so I moved with them. This was a terrible situation, by the way. When I got to what was my new room, like it was so dirty and I was so like unhappy with it. It was so filthy and just dirty. My bathroom floor was just black and I literally like bleached everything. I remember my landlord came in and he was like, wow, you're killing everything. Because I was like, I don't know who lived here before me. Like, I'm not gonna live in their filth. Like, this is gross. And about the like robbery or whatever in the movie, I've never had my house get robbed, but when I lived in Camberwell, the flat got broken into after my friend and I moved. Our third friend like stayed living there and they got robbed. They had just like knocked down the door and like stolen his laptop and stuff. I felt so bad. I'm just so lucky that that never happened to me. Honestly, that's so scary. This color is super pretty, but it's not the color I need. London wise, like I live in a place where I feel very safe, and I feel safe like walking home at night by myself, which that's such a luxury. But there are definitely places that I go in London where I don't keep my phone out, or I just genuinely don't feel safe. But in the beginning of Coyote Ugly, when she's moving to New York City and like the dad is like, 5 people got murdered in New York City last night or something like that, that is very relatable. Parents definitely do that. I always have to tell my parents that I'm okay if something happens. Like if there's some kind of terror incident or whatever, like I always have to be like, I'm fine, like you probably saw that this happened, I am fine, don't worry. Obviously it sucks for parents to worry about their children, but my parents know that I am very careful and I don't usually go out very late. The places where things happen are places where I'm not usually at. Like I don't like parties, I don't go to clubs, like I'm not, you know, out and about late. And I'm not trying to say that if something happens it's your fault because you were there. That's obviously not what this conversation is about. I think I managed to get the right color. It's very cute. I didn't realize guys before I started painting that getting the right color is a big part of the process. Obviously right now there haven't been a lot of like terror incidents in London, but Westminster Bridge and London Bridge happened very close to each other. During this time, like I was living in Southwark, so I was living very close, like within 10 minutes of both of these places, and I was working at London Bridge at the time. I don't know if this is still a thing, but when Facebook had this, when people like request that you mark that you're safe and stuff, no one should be worrying about your safety. Like that just sucks. Also, in Coyote Ugly, wow, this whole thing is just gonna be about that movie. But when her best friend is like crying when she's leaving her in New York City, and she's like, wow, this is something that we talked about that actually happened. And it's so true, because like you have all these plans with your friends and all these things you want to do, but like it's so hard to make it all happen. And whenever I actually like get something done with my friends that like we've talked about and it actually happens, I'm always so like, this actually happened. I don't want to get emotional. I just want to like show some recognition or whatever about the people in my life. I met some new people this week and they were like, wow, like you have this life and it sounds like you have a lot of stuff going on in Norway as well. I have an amazing family, amazing friends. I have 3 goddaughters and I have more kids of my friends' kids that I just adore so much, and I have so much stuff happening and so many people who care about me and so many people who really have my back and really will look out for me and all of that. And I'm so lucky because like you cannot take stuff like that for granted, and you can't buy that. Like that's literally built up over time, and I'm so grateful. I've been watching, oh, what's the channel called? Thoraya, the YouTube channel where like she will put up like a camera and people will say like secrets and whatever. And I've heard several people say that they don't have friends and they're lonely and all of that. And I am so lucky that I have never really had to deal with loneliness. It's one of those things like if you have it, you definitely just take it for granted because it's just so normal to have friends, but not everyone does. Making friends has never been an issue for me. It's rather like that I have too many friends and I don't have like enough time to spend enough time with my friends, which is such a crazy issue to have. Like it's such a luxury problem to have that I like literally just have too many friends. I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I can't make more friends because I have too many friends, and I don't want to take anything for granted. I really want to say take it for granted, but only a small minority of you are gonna get that joke. That's not good. I messed up, just so you know. This is hard, y'all. I appreciate the people in my life so much. I'm so lucky to have a family who accepts me for who I am, and they understand me, and they will always be there for me. And I've definitely learned living here that that is such a privilege that you cannot take for granted. And my friends, like, we have very different lives, because like a lot of my friends, they have houses, one of my friends is married, and a couple of my friends have more than one child. Like, what on earth? If any of you have seen Frozen 2, you know when everyone's like, what's your favorite song? And everyone's expecting it to be like Into the Unknown. Well, my favorite is like Show Yourself, but really my favorite is Some Things Never Change. I can't even talk about it without like tearing up. It's like such an emotional thing for me because some things do never change. Some of the friends that I have in my life, I've had them since 1999, okay? And obviously a part of growing up is realizing that everyone does not come into your life to stay, but you learn to accept that. But then some people really are there for the long run. You know when you start a new project and then it kind of dawns on you when you've started, like, wow, this was a lot. Like, I don't know why I thought I could do this, but it's fine. I'll be fine. I can do this. But I'm just so lucky that I have my ride or die crew. Like I said, like last week, I met some new people and I was like telling them about my life. And sometimes when I tell people about my life, especially people who are younger than me, they're like, oh my God, you've done all of these things. And like, I haven't done anything. And like, you have so many stories and I am too scared to do that. Like, I'm too scared to travel or move abroad or all of that. And I'm like, you can't compare yourself to other people. You're not living their life. You're living your life. It might sound impressive when I like talk about it, but then it's like, you don't hear the whole story. You don't hear my tragic backstory. There is a very good reason I am this way and why I need to just experience life as much as I can and why I don't take anything for granted. My life literally taught me to have that mentality. It's such a push and pull for me because I want to talk about trauma more and all of that because it can really help other people. But then I am such a private person, so sharing stuff like that is just, if my friend Amy was here, she would be like, yep, that's because you're a Capricorn. but I do want to share more stuff, like, because I think it can help other people, just to not feel alone and just see that like you can do it. Other people have done it, you can do it. I've been watching Jessica Kent. If you don't know who she is, she's a former drug addict who served time in prison and all of that. And she's talking about her experience and like her crazy life story, and she's really making a difference for people. And I do wish that I could do the same for someone. I don't have that kind of story obviously, but there's different kinds of trauma and like different kinds of experiences, and there's definitely people who have gone through and are going through the same things as me, and I think sharing your story can definitely help someone. If nothing else, it can help people realize they're not alone, they're not the only ones, because sometimes you can feel so isolated when you're struggling with something. I do want to have like meaningful content that can help other people. I'm thinking like maybe, well, I really want to have a podcast, but I don't want to like start a podcast and then I never post because I don't have time, because I really do want to start streaming soon, because streaming is something that I really want to do, but I don't want to start doing that until I have a proper setup, because I want it to be like good quality or whatever. Well, like right now I don't even have anywhere, like I don't even have any way to do that, which I'm really excited about, because then I can just kind of sit there and like just talk a lot of stuff, and it will be a very like nice conversational and also interactive thing. I'm really excited about that. I think I've sat here and talked for a really long time now, so I'm gonna go. I made some progress on the painting, so don't worry, we've gotten somewhere. But anyway, thanks for listening to all of that rambling. I'm gonna end this month's video here, but before I go, I wanted to do a quick grocery haul because I haven't done one in a long time, and also just to add a little bit of variation to this video. First of all, got my orange juice. I drink orange juice every day, and I feel like it really helps with my iron intake, or my body actually absorbing it. Iron absorption, whatever word. Got some double cream because we're gonna make some mashed potato tomorrow with some kind of strange, I don't really like beef mince at all, but it has to be made with this thing. It's these really flat things that I think are Scandinavian, I don't know, but I don't know what they're called in English. Got some squash, because need to have that squash. Got some salsa and some sour cream, because I'm gonna make quesadillas next week, because I've been craving quesadillas for so long. It's also summer, so it's just, you know, the perfect time to make quesadillas. Got my 2 impulse purchases for today. My uterus wants me dead, so I'm impressed I got out of there with only 2 impulse purchases, to be honest. There's this Polish snacks that we have in Norway that like I used to eat when I was little, and that is my comfort food now, but they didn't have it at the Sainsbury's I went to, which I'm so annoyed. So I got this instead. It was on sale. I only buy Ben & Jerry's on sale, and this was the only one on sale, so I really hope it's good, because it's the like lighter version, I think, which I don't ever buy the lighter version of anything, but it's chocolate cookie dough, so I'm like, how bad can it be? Got some energy drinks. I'm sorry about the lighting situation here, but why is only energy drinks age restricted but not coffee? Because kids shouldn't really have coffee either, right? Like there's caffeine in both of these, like kids shouldn't have either of these, but I don't know. Maybe there's some like really obvious thing here that I'm not seeing. Got some different cheeses for, I'm gonna make some lasagna next week. I'm also gonna make my quesadillas, so excited about that. Also got some mayo. Not for me, for my partner who just loves mayo too much. I also got some crisps. These are hummus bites, tomato and basil. So good. And these I haven't tried before, lentil bites. They're sea salt. They sound really good, so I hope they're good. Also, there's 4 bags. They're for Friday and Saturday, and my partner and I are very much crisp people, so we need a bag each. Gluttony, anyone? Oh, that reminds me, 7 Deadly Sins is back. I'm so excited. Finally get to reunite with Bon. I love him so much. I know it's not cool to like 7 Deadly Sins, but I don't care. I like it, and Bon is just my favorite. I love him. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about him. Got some spring onions, which you might be surprised about, but the ones I have that I keep regrowing, they're not doing so well anymore, so I decided it was time to get some new ones. Got some eggs. Gotta have eggs at all times. Can never run out of eggs. Got some tomatoes and some radishes. If y'all haven't tried radishes, they're so nice to just add to anything. They're so like crispy and fresh and just so nice. They're cheap as well, and you can add them to so many different things. So if you, like me, eat a lot of salads and wraps and all of that, like definitely add radishes to them. And then we got some iceberg lettuce. But yeah. Thank you for watching my June video. Oh my god, it's so crazy that we're already in July. I'm gonna be better at taking my camera with me because I haven't done that this month, obviously. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next Friday with a new video. Keep the good vibes. Bye!